la 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 la. Good you watching to the video on demand of the weekly Monday stream that we of course do here on the React channel. Going over all the news. Thanks everyone for joining already. We got quite some great topics to go over. I have quite many. So yeah, we will be here for some time, which is gonna be exciting. Hey Melissa, good to see you. Saber Knight. I'm in mass use. It's still AM over here. Love that YouTube works on my PC. Store bought all in one. That was for my family, nothing special. Well, Saber Knight, good to see you. Can join. Peps Gaming. Shiba, good to see you as well. Severus, good to see you as always. What you got for us this week, Yor? Well. It's of course a special week in the gaming land. Yeah, because I hate the term gaming land. That sounds kind of childish, maybe, but I don't know. Let's just go with that. Of course, Summer Game Fest is happening this week on Friday. Jeff Keighley will take the stage, and 2 hours of big reveals. We will go over the latest updates we had. So yeah, we got some extra confirmations. I'm sure that throughout the week more confirmations will be happening, and then I will probably do an update video here on the channel, and we will be live reacting on the main channel to that event. And yeah, I'm expecting some big things. Like we know Pearl Abyss is there, for example, with Crimson Desert. So hopefully they finally have like a release date, but at least a new trailer seems to be in the cards. Fun fact, I by the way went to TwitchCon this weekend. I did not actually go to TwitchCon, but I did play Crimson Desert. And it was a demo that other people played as well, like with the bosses. So I was like, okay, what can I do that is more exciting that people don't know about yet? So there were these dummies, and I was just testing all the different weapons, abilities, and stuff. So I have quite some interesting and fun, fun information about the game. So I will be, we'll be going over that. I think that's gonna be very exciting. I wanna make sure that I link the stream to people on the main channel, so they all come and watch. So I'm gonna quickly do that. I'm back from vacay 53 nights. Good to hear. Good to hear. Glad you are back. We will very likely. I send a message to Luke as well. I am not sure, but yeah, we will likely do the podcast in 4 hours from this stream, because he will of course be going to Summer Game Fest as well. So that'll be kind of the final time we can do it. Live now, discussing the latest gaming news with you. So then we can also kind of go over our predictions for Summer Game Fest. So that should be exciting on his live channel. I'm excited to hear about Crimson Desert. Yeah, I mean, I can already talk about it. I think the game, for one, it looks amazing. It looks like a game you've already kind of played in terms of open world. You got your sword and shield, you're fighting these bosses, but it really takes way more time to get used to it. It's also way more arcadey in a way where bosses just throw you around all the time. So I had luckily like some good armor and already quite a lot of like health potions and stuff, because they did not want you to die all the time. But I think it's gonna be, maybe when you get used to it, it will be less of that. But I was sometimes like thrown around. I was like, where am I? But when I got so every boss is weak against some of the moves you have. You have quite some options as Cliff. You also have a bow with like different types of arrows. The world I got to see looks insane. And I really hope, and I think, but I could not try that yet, that this game will have a lot of that mystery, that all of that open world, oh my godness. And what I mean by that is that you stumble upon a like fort that was destroyed, or a castle or whatever, and there's this guy sitting on the throne, and you're like, who are you? I am the lord of this castle, and he's like completely out of his mind, but still protecting this castle that once was. And then you go fight him, and when you defeat him, you get his weapons. And he's just chilling there. So you can miss him if you don't explore, or you can go there. So I do think there are quite some surprises like that, hopefully, in the open world. So I'm excited. Is Mindside getting delayed? I don't think so. It's coming out next week on Tuesday. Tomorrow we're seeing Witcher 4 at Unreal Fest. Yeah, DT. I mean, seeing the game, I don't know. But I am curious if they, what they will show. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure. Let me see real quick. We got, of course, our lovely people in the Twitch chat as well. So appreciate you guys too for joining there. Bleep, bleep. Redwood Phantom as always. Elmim. Olfak. By PZ. Hey, how are we going to manage playing both Dune and Arc Raiders this week? Good question. Yeah, Dune is coming out this week as well. To be fair, not games for me, so I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Black Knight, good to see you. Uncut Chain. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun week with Summer Game Fest. I'm kind of sad that I'm not going. I was like, I'm fine, I'm not going, and then I got like an email from the Phantom Blade Zero people. They're like, are you at Summer Game Fest? We have this older like Year of a Snake demo from a few months ago. But hey, not a lot of people played it. Want to play it? Last year I played Phantom Blade Zero for the first time at Summer Game Fest. And I was really blown away by that game. So yeah, I was like, I'm gonna miss that. And they're probably... Like last year I was like chilling with Luke and a lot of other people who were there. But of course last year it was Assassin's Creed Shadows, so it made a lot of sense to go there. And yeah, with the type of games we cover there, and that's why I like this channel. It's way more broad. But I want to go next year. I want to go next year again. Big stuff in gaming for sure, Codex Seeker. Yes. Aren't you excited for the dumpster fire? I am. Oh yeah, it's gonna be interesting. They're trying some interesting things with Mindside. We will see how it all shakes out. Stefan, will you be playing the Gears of War remastered? Yeah, I like Gears of War was really one of those games where I was a PlayStation person and a Nintendo kid, so I went to a friend's house in middle school. He was like, you gotta see this game. And I was like blown away by the graphics. And he was showing the first Gears of War, like with the chainsaw. I was like, what the heck is this? Look at this cover gameplay. I'm like, whoa. So yeah, I'm excited to play through it on the PS5. So yeah, I will be totally trying that and playing it. I think that will be exciting. State of Decay 3, 2025 or 2026. If they're gonna showcase it, and probably they will, I think it's 2026 game. Look at what Microsoft has this year. They don't need State of Decay. So yeah. Wonder if we will see Ghost or if they will save it for the State of Play. Kenny, I agree. We know Death Strand like Kojima will be on stage during Summer Game Fest. But yeah, that did not stop Sony. I do think it would be smart for Sony to push Ghost of Yotei in a more mainstream way. I mean, a lot of people played Ghost of Tsushima last year on PC. So I don't think those people will be watching the State of Play, but they will likely be watching, or yeah, quite some will be watching Summer Game Fest. So I do think it's good for them to be like, hey, here's Ghost of Yotei, want to play the sequel to the game you loved on PC last year? Gotta buy a PS5. GTA 6, gotta buy a PS5. And then maybe those people will buy a PS5 and that's what Sony wants. I'm hoping they share more info about AC Jade at Summer Games Fest. That would be great. That would be great. But I'm not holding my breath, sadly, for that. We do know Level Infinite, so Tencent is there. And they are, of course, publishing it. I'm going to up my audio a bit for you guys. Can we expect a Horizon Online announcement? Sunil. At the State of Play? Okay. I think there are two possible moments where we can see this. Either during the State of Play in June, or during the State of Play in September. If it's not at either of those events, you guys can come up with something that I will do. If it's not at either of those events, I would be shocked. But yeah, I hope so. Yeah, Uncut. Oh, so that's what you mean. Yeah, Hideo Kojima getting his own show. Yeah. I will touch on that briefly during this stream as well. I'm hopeful that Judas comes out this fall now that GTA is pushed. Yeah, I think they have to get Judas out also because I think 2K is ready to talk about BioShock and get that train going. And I don't think you want to have marketing and promotion for both BioShock and Judas. But yeah, I would love to see it. Did you like Doom the Dark Age, bro? I just can't handle the flying around combat. Felt like Marvel characters. I played 4 levels of Doom the Dark Ages. I had a great time. For me, it did not have the same impact, though, as Eternal had and the 2016 reboot. It's like a fun game to just play around, have fun, and kind of put your brain on zero. Not really, but like, yeah, put your brain off a bit. But you still have to kind of think about it, so you still think good about what you're doing. But it's not like I played it. I was like, this is awesome. There are some other games I will play. I will probably come back to it and maybe do a few rounds each day and then finish it because it's quite short. But the levels are all fully 30 minutes. So it's like perfect to play in between. 007 this week. That would be awesome, Joseph. I would like another Wolfenstein game, but that Indiana James Jones game is maybe too successful not to do a sequel. I don't know, man. I mean, Indiana Jones was maybe successful, but to be fair, like, they have to pay Disney for the license. So, was it in the end more successful than Wolfenstein? I don't know. Because sure, they got some subscriber, they got some Game Pass hits. But on PlayStation, I think it sold only a couple 100,000 units, which not a lot. So I don't know. I don't know if I would personally be like, go back to Wolfenstein or make something completely different. I would overall hope that some of these Xbox studios get to make like something completely new. But yeah. I will be disappointed if we don't see BioShock or Resident Evil. Well, Jew Gaming, that's not the right mindset. Have low expectations and then they will hopefully be exceeded. But I think both BioShock and Resident Evil, I don't think there's it's not like I would say there's a higher chance that they're not at the event than if that they are. So yeah, there are rumors that Resident Evil, but there are always rumors about Resident Evil. So, and BioShock again, we know something BioShock is happening, but it could also be at Gamescom. We also last year had like the rumors that Mafia would have something. I think those were in May, and then it happened in August at Gamescom. So I could see BioShock getting the remake announcement or whatever at Gamescom too. It kind of depends. Blazing Flame says, if we don't get a big showcase in June or third-party focus showcase or State of Play, is September likely, right? I mean, with Sony, you cannot really predict anymore. It's easier to just say they're going to do a State of Play because we know they are going to. Jeff Grubb has been like, it's going to be June for State of Play. And yeah, he has been right countless of times. So I totally think we will get a State of Play in June. But I don't think that would mean that we get a showcase in September. We will likely get something in September. They've been doing that every year now, just before Tokyo Game Show. And that would be like the final time to also talk about Ghost of Yotei and stuff. So I would say there is going to be something in September, but it could be a State of Play or a showcase. I would not say that if this June one is a State of Play that we get a showcase for certain. Okay, let's go. Hello, so ready for the God of War spin-off in Greece? Me too, Ivan, I should say. They should make another Red Faction game. I think Red Faction, they tried that, right? They did the refactored. They did like a very stupid name for a remaster of Guerrilla. Ghost of Yotei focus State of Play in the summer. Like, Justin, I hope so. But I think that would be like in July or August. Something like that. I think the Ghost of Tsushima State of Play that we got was very close to launch, like in May or something, and then it came out in July. So we will see. But let's go to the first topic, of course. If you are new here, thanks for joining. If you are watching here or being here almost every week, that's of course awesome to see. I see many of you here. That's very, very cool. Then you know that, of course, We also like to record videos here or topics that will then be out as videos throughout the week on the React channel. But yeah, we will be recording them here together. I got quite some topics that we can discuss, so it's gonna be exciting. I saw one question about the Marvel 9043 game, so I'm gonna quickly, because that game is still indeed a thing. Let's do it like this. Beep beep pop beep poo poo beep beep dee dee dee. Just at the announced the 007, they just announced the 007 game for this week. Did they? Is that on Twitter? Is that on the tweet? Let's get that on up here. Yeah, IO Interactive officially confirmed the name. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thanks for noting there. Appreciate you with the super chat, Joseph, as well. IO Interactive's Bond game is called 007 First Light with a reveal this week. Oh, there he is, the Bond. He looks a lot like Daniel, but it's like a different Bond. The Hitman Studio will be called 007 First Light, but no further information has been provided yet. Players may not have to wait long for more details, however, as IO says, First Light will get a game reveal this week. While it has not been clarified when the game will be revealed, the most likely contender is the Summer Game Fest. Never before seen footage. I mean, there is no footage yet. The perfect stream timing. Yeah, we're gonna quickly, so I had a whole different topic that I wanted to do first, but I'm gonna do this one first. So Joyce can quickly make and edit that video, and then we can quickly post it online. So that's gonna be the tactic, yeah, nah. So that's exciting. James Bond. Ba-dum. This is the wait music while I look up the tweet, but I think we can just do it like this. Young Cassie, good to see you. Okay, let's do it. We got new updates for Summer Game Fest with a big one, namely the 007 game. We got a name. It will be revealed at Summer Game Fest later this week. It's called 007 First Light. Let's go over the information. We see the new Bond here. They're making a brand new Bond for this game. And if the game is successful, they want to do a trilogy of games. So yeah, First Light, also likely indicating, there's more to come. Let's see what the article says. The Hitman Studios game will be called 007 First Light, but no further information has been provided as of yet. Players may not have to wait long, though, for more information. IO says the First Light will get a game reveal this week. And yeah, there are two options then for that. The Xbox Showcase or Summer Game Fest at Jeff Keighley. I'm gonna say it's likely Summer Game Fest as well. So Friday, June 6th. A world premiere look at 007 First Light featuring never before seen footage. We've only seen a theme song style trailer for it. We've not seen any footage. And start a new area for James Bond in the video game universe. Again, a new era. They really want to make this a trilogy if it works out for them. It's likely going to be a third-person game. So yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. Of course, the Hitman team, they know what they're doing. And getting a bit more action into the mix, I think that will be exciting. But yeah, stealth will likely be a big part of things as well. I'm hyped. Looks like Daniel Craig, but of course, again, it's a new Bond. Let me know, of course, what you hope to see from this game. We'll be covering it here. I don't think it's coming out this year. It's likely a 2026 game, if I had to guess. But the last game that this team made was Hitman 3, that launched in January 2021. So it has been a while, but yeah, we will see. We will see. Game reveal this week could of course also just be a CGI trailer. Although we know Jeff Keighley usually likes to say to developers, okay, cool CGI trailer, but why not like show a bit of like gameplay, like tease a gameplay a bit at the end of the trailer. So fingers crossed that will be it, and maybe people that go to Summer Game Fest will get more information. So that will be very exciting. We also got way more games that got confirmation. Yeah, I of course did a video recently, but we got more confirmations. Soulframe will be there. This is the, yeah, maybe as you've already guessed, this is the new action RPG, also kind of an MMO type situation from the Warframe developers. And yeah, they've been testing it already. I think it looks pretty awesome. I've not been really paying attention to it after the initial reveal, but yeah, I think it's cool that they are trying some different things as well with the success of Warframe, of course, and implementing that in a more medieval fantasy style game. Yeah, could be really cool. We will see more also. Yeah, I think you're now working together with other players here, right? So yeah, we will see also more on June 6th regarding that. Then also Team Cloud ill game, I think I pronounced that right, also at Summer Game Fest. I'm not a fan of this. Like, this is not a game gonna be for me. But it's yeah, a horror game. We're probably gonna get scared in a moment here. I'm not sure what's going on. Not for me. Not for me, but I'm happy that it's there and that people are excited for it. Death Stranding 2 will get a game premiere event with a live demo of Death Stranding 2 with Hideo Kojima during Summer Game Fest. It will be on Sunday, though. So this will be after the Xbox show in the evening in the US. So very early in the morning for us in Europe. But yeah, I mean, Hideo Kojima will also be on stage during Summer Game Fest on June 6th. So I expect maybe a trailer or something there too. Although I hope Sony shows Ghost of Yotei at Jeff Keighley's event. That will of course be exciting. But yeah, the game is coming out later this month. Yeah, the marketing is of course in full force. Like maybe, like Sony usually doesn't really like to show another game while they want to market one that is more imminent. So maybe they're like, okay, let's just put Ghost of Yotei a bit on the back burner here. Have the focus be on Death Stranding 2. I mean, people already played 30 hours of the game, and that was like 1/3. So it's gonna be a massive game, and I think they really have a, like, they need to convince people who did not like the first one to still give this one a try, I think, because it seems like they, yeah, improved quite a lot of what people did not like about the first game. And I'm in that camp, so I'm gonna watch these trailers and hopefully they got me. But yeah, of course, it looks insane on the Guerrilla Games Decima engine, of course. First PS5, like, from the ground up game made on that engine. So I think that's already pretty exciting. But yeah, expect a lot of Death Stranding 2, of course, during the event. Before that, though, we have CD Projekt Red will be at the State of Unreal. The Witcher 4 will be showcased there. So, of course, CD Projekt Red usually uses their own Red engine. But for, yeah, Cyberpunk, the sequel, and for The Witcher 4, they switched to Unreal Engine 5. For multiple reasons. Simply because, especially for Cyberpunk, they are now... So, for The Witcher 4, they mostly are developing that in Poland. While for Cyberpunk, the sequel, they're mostly developing that in the US. And to hire people, like developers who are there, it's way easier to say, yo, we're working on an Unreal Engine game. Because a lot of developers in the US have already experience with that. So that already helped with them. They also, yeah, can just focus on building the game and not working on an engine at the same time. Which hopefully means that we can get a faster development cycle. They also at one point want to do something with multiplayer in these games. So maybe Unreal Engine can help them with that too. While of course the core game will be mostly single player. But I'm not expecting a lot from this. So last year they had the State of Unreal during the GDC. So this one is a bit later. But yeah, this was like kind of the big reveal. The Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra game. This was the first time we saw this footage. And it was really like a showcase title for, obviously, for the game. And how they were like using the technology and stuff. So, again, Witcher 4 is very, like, still very early. So, I don't know if they can already show new stuff, but like environments, I can see them do that. Or maybe a scene with Ciri, and then, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but I'm not expecting a lot. But that is something that will be happening too. Then we also have a rumor, I know many people want this. First trailer for Resident Evil 9 will be shown at Summer Game Fest. Release targeting Q1 2026. So this is from a German website or actually creator. To my knowledge, the first person to talk about Resident Evil 0 and Code Veronica remakes back in spring 2024, weeks before Dust Golem, IGN, and E. Robinson. So, seems like this person has a track record. I was not able to verify that yet, but so take it with a grain of salt. But of course, Capcom is at Summer Game Fest. They have no big game currently planned now that Monster Hunter Wilds is out. But they are, of course, going to launch a big game in this current financial year that ends in April 2026. So you would think that's Resident Evil 9, right? I think that would be huge, but I think they're gonna save that for a potential state of play that very likely is going to happen in June as well. But so yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, maybe by the time you watch this, or Sony is gonna announce a state of play very, very soon. I can see that happen. I think it's wild that they would do a state of play after Summer Game Fest, because a lot of people are going to be at Summer Game Fest playing all the new games. And yeah, you want a Sony show revealing some of those games, but we will see. We also got like some other rumors. We might get something Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake soon. Also, a grain of salt. Like, I think overall that Ubisoft is not going to show a lot. They're only going to they're not at Summer Game Fest. They are not on the list. They are at IGN Live, which kind of another type of show that will be happening June 7th till the 8th. They are here, but I looked at and yeah, Capcom is here too. A lot of companies are here as well. But I looked at the schedule from what they've seen so far, or what they've like revealed so far, and it's, for one, a lot of like TV series and movies as well. But yeah, we also have like some games that are already out. Ark, okay, what's gonna happen with that? So, Mind's Eye, that will of course be launching a few days later. Sonic Racing. And yeah, you already see Ubisoft here in a moment. Killing Floor 3 will be here. You already see some, like here, Anno. So that is what Ubisoft is like. That's the only big game they've announced for this year so far, and actually beyond that. So like, that's just gonna be what Ubisoft is gonna focus on, I think, for this Summer Game Fest. They have the Xbox developer interviews, of course. Xbox is gonna do their show on Sunday, so FBC Firebreak will be here. That's of course launching in June as well. Let's see what else they have, like Rainbow Six Siege. Siege X is of course launching in June very soon. So yeah, I really think we should not expect a lot from Ubisoft and from Ark here. So that's kind of the latest update we have on Summer Game Fest. Of course, the James Bond game. Like, you wanna have games like this. Like, this is why you would tune in. This is a huge game. So I hope we have more reveals like that. But of course, we already know about Crimson Desert going to be there. With Pearl Abyss, of course, being on the list. I really hope like something from Sony next to Death Stranding 2 is gonna be there. So I have hope. I have hope that we will hopefully see some more surprises like this game. Let me know what you, of course, hope to see in the comments down below, and subscribe for more React videos like this. Maybe we see Light of Fire. I don't think they actually are at the show Hello Games, so I would not expect it. I'm gonna quickly link the... Bleep. Is there like anything else you guys want to see at Summer Game Fest? Let me know, and maybe I can squash your dreams. Is that how you say it? Yeah. We gotta be realistic. I think it's gonna be fun, but not if you expect like insane reveals, because there are going to be big reveals, but usually not like insane ones. Half-Life 3 or Beyond Good and Evil 2. Okay, that's what I mean. That's insane. That's insane. The new Tomb Raider game. Yeah, I think the new Tomb Raider would be on that 007 level. Consort Citizen, thanks for your support there. Appreciate it. Jurassic Park Survival. That's an interesting one, because that was at Summer Game Fest, right? Last year. Yeah, last year. No, it was like 2 years ago. Splinter Cell, again, Ubisoft is not gonna be there really, so yeah, I would not expect that. No, it was there last year, it seems. Oh no, what? Oh, it was like at the Game Awards. Yeah, for people who don't remember it, this is what it is. And this is like one of those trailers that I'm talking about for 007 as well. This is obviously CGI, but then at the end of the trailer they show a bit of gameplay. Can't wait for the Ghost of Yota gameplay reveal. Me too, Mark. That's gonna be great. Fable, yeah. Nighthawk, I think Fable, I would be shocked if it's not there, to be honest with you. Ubisoft will reveal next Far Cry game. They will not, Dovenschmied, sadly. They will not. Yeah, I think Fable is a big high on my list too. And Tomb Raider, I think, would be great. Amazon Games is there. Would be awesome. Fellow City says, I'm hyped for this. I get it. Like, it looks pretty cool. It's like first person, though, it seems. But like a horror Jurassic Park game, I think is awesome. Did they like say in the trailer when they were planning to release it? Oh, this is like a freaking creator. This is another like a real. I fell for it. This is not the not the official trailer. Will they show Starfield on PlayStation? I think so, Kenny. I think either during the state of play or here. This is the gameplay. That looks awesome. Looks kind of hectic. Again, a very short bit of gameplay. And I think first person actually works really well for this, because then the T-Rex can really be in your face. This is a better atmosphere than the past 3 games. Oh yes, amen to that. Frank Ishu is saying God of War. Oh yeah. That would be huge. I mean, I believe the rumors. I believe it. I believe it. We need moments like the old E3 again. Oh yeah, I agree. I was in the audience for the God of War reveal. No, no, no. Boy. And then him like walking out of the shadows. And of course having the orchestra. The Blood of the Dawnwalker by the ex-CD Projekt developers. I would not count on it. What was their name again? It was Wolves, right? Blood of the Dawnwalker. That looks insane, by the way, that game. Rebel Wolves. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna see that, sadly, because they're not on the list. That game also, when it was revealed, was still very early. Of course, we saw it earlier this year. Looks awesome, though. Looks really, really cool. Loyedo. I think they have some... Not really gameplay, but like... Did they have like some sort of like thing at the end, I think? Did I get... Here. This looks insane too. And it's like you have different powers if it's like day or night. That's so cool. And then this shot. Ooh. But yeah, I'm not expecting that, sadly. We will still have to wait a bit. Justin, thanks for your super chat. You guys are very generous today. Thanks. Jurassic Park Survival is most likely 2026, while Jurassic World Evolution 3 is likely fall. Survival seems still be in the story development stage. What is the story development stage? I don't think that's a development stage. I do think the story it's in development at the same time as other elements. But, yeah, no, it is... I mean, if we see it again this year, I do think Jurassic... What did they say when they announced it? Because I can remember them saying 2025. Announced. What happened? Oh, here we have like. Oh wow, there was already a very old game called Jurassic Park Survival. Oh, we have it here actually. There is a Steam page for it. Saber is working on it. But yeah, obviously no date. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not sure if Saber is on the list. We can quickly look at it. Saber Interactive. Where you guys at, Saber? It's like, I don't think it's like, oh, is it in, it's alphabetical order, so that would be like around here. No, I don't see them, no. No, I don't think we should hold our breath for it. Maybe Gamescom? Again, it was revealed at the Game Awards, maybe they show something again at the end of the year, but we should not sadly hold our breath for it. Phantom Blade Zero, Concerned Citizen. Actually, like I said earlier in the stream, I got an email asking me to try out the Year of the Snake demo. But that was at Summer Game Fest. So that was this. That was like that crazy boss with the marionette. This one. This looks... Seeing this again. This looks so cool. I already played it last year at Summer Game Fest, and we of course did a video on it. That was, yeah, of course, people really enjoyed that. So I'm not sadly going to Summer Game Fest this year, because for me it doesn't really make a lot of sense if there's not a huge game that I know of, like an Assassin's Creed or like Horizon or something like that. But yeah, they asked, yo, wanna try this? I think they are not at the show, but they have like the demo with them. And last year it was a huge success for them. But yeah, it's still far away. But they seemingly have this playable. And right now I think we only have the this video from PlayStation. So it would have been really fun to play this, obviously. But hopefully, maybe at Gamescom, I can see them being there maybe too. But yeah, no, I don't think we should expect anything new from them during Summer Game Fest. But I would love to be wrong. Kenny is asking, how did the Days Gone remaster sell? That's a good question. I don't think it's sold. I've not like seen it in the Circana like data, but you have to remember that if people buy the $10 upgrade, that would not count as like a new sale. So yeah. Do you there was a Days Gone remaster? Oh yeah, there was. Hopefully the 007 game will be good. I mean, it's the Hitman team. It just fits. They make amazing games. So I think it's gonna be really, really good. I have high hopes. Project Awakening. East Blue Drew. Project Awakening. What the heck? Is this still alive? And thanks, of course, Concert Citizen, for the super chat there. Appreciate you. Not a Game Fest, but at Xbox Prototype. What? Excited for Exodus because it's from former BioWare devs. Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep track of all the spin-off studios that we have. AZ Wilco, yeah, Witcher 4 stuff tomorrow. Yeah, we touched on that. And news about a rumored John Wick game. Is there a rumored John Wick game? I mean, we know there's like a John Wick game from Mike Biffle, right? This looks kind of cool. This looks insane. I had never heard of this game. Project Awakening. Sounds very, very generic, but it looks kind of cool. But yeah, so far we're just like fighting this huge Drake. And we die. But then, oh, no. We try again. And do we defeat the Drake? Oh. This is like a very old... So this one was posted like 3 years ago. I don't know. Psy Games. Who are they? I remember that name. Are they still around? They have a website, but they're making... What is this website? Why are we watching a presentation? Usually it says like console games. Our games. Grand Blue Fantasy. It's not even here anymore. Oh, here it is. Console game. Whoa. Feels like they only have the demo against the Drake though so far, so I'm not sure if it's a real game. That's all the footage they got. And oh no, we're on the battlefield or something. Yeah, this looks like a game that will never come out. I'm sorry. It looks cool though. I guess it was cancelled. Yeah, let's see if I can like look that up. Project Awakening. And then we go move on to another topic that we have. Project Awakening news. Unveiled that E from new playtest starts. New September. Oh, it's not cancelled as of April. Hello, our team has some important message. One, our game is not cancelled. To be fair, if you have to put out a message saying, "Yo, the game is not cancelled," that's kind of a red flag. 2, we're working hard behind the scenes to bring you the best experience possible. Stay tuned for more updates in the coming months. And then they had this thing in the coming months. But it's like E Frontier. This is not that game. I don't know. Will there be a new Hitman game? I don't think they will do a new Hitman game for the foreseeable future. They have like Project Fantasy now, IO Interactive. That's a fantasy co-op game. And I think most of the team that usually worked on Hitman is on 007. So yeah. Do you think Star Wars Eclipse is gonna come out? It's really hard to say that. It's really hard. That was like announced just a while ago. So I was like at TwitchCon and I saw people from Quantic Dream. So the studio, they're still alive. But I don't know what they were doing there or anything. But yeah, the studio is still alive. But yeah. Of course, they're not gonna say anything, so you would hope that it's still alive. I mean, usually, and that's the next topic, if a Disney or a game or anything is cancelled, we will hear about it. So I do think that if Star Wars Eclipse would be cancelled, we would hear about it. Blazing Flame, do you think PlayStation will do a first-party focused state of play? A State of Play would never be first party focused. A State of Play is because they have third party agreements with companies. So if it's a first party showcase, they would call it a showcase because then they would likely have enough to warrant calling it a showcase. Is it time for a smaller Days Gone game? Yeah, Ivan. I've been saying that for a long time. I think that's a way for Sony Band to still release something this generation and something that people actually want to play. And then maybe from there they can be like, was this a success? Did people actually show up? Everyone has been saying they want the Days Gone 2, but would they actually buy a new game? Let's launch this $30, $50 game. It's going to be 10 hours in a small open world. And yeah, use some of the things from our cancelled game. And yeah, if people then decide to show up, then we can maybe greenlight Days Gone 2 for PlayStation 6. Otherwise, it's likely the end of Sony Band. That would be my guess. And I hope I'm not right about that, but it's crazy. Days Gone came out in 2019. And yeah, we will likely go almost 10 years without a new Sony Band game. And that hurts because I love Sony Band. I love the Resistance game they did. I love Uncharted, Golden Abyss. Maybe not love, but I thought it was like a solid game for Vita. Solid. Okay, now back to the shadows. Ooh, Vitas. Resistance was nice. Yeah, I mean they did the PSP game that I think was actually pretty good third person. Ooh, Shinobi is teasing a State of Play this week on Reset Era. User, do we have a link? Again, I've been saying it. Where is Shinobi? Oh, wait, we can do this. Oh yeah, I'm so prepared for this. Bloonky bloonk. Today. Yesterday. I'm not seeing it. Is it this one? Oh! No, this is not a tease. I'm sorry. This is not a tease. He's just saying happy birthday. He's just saying no. This is not a tease. Is it though? Okay, I'm gonna put up a poll. Of course, for people who don't know, Shinobi is a... Yeah, he knows. A lot. We don't know how. But he usually knows things. Okay, people are saying yes. People just want to believe. Copium. We're coping here. I would not be shocked if it was announced in the next 10 minutes. I mean... Here we go here. I mean, I've said it. I would be shocked if it was after Summer Game Fest. I've said it countless of times. Here we go to Twitter. Boom, boom, boom. Ha! This month on PlayStation. Ha! And the State of Play. Before or after, do you think? After makes less sense to me. But if we don't hear an announcement today or tomorrow, it will be later. I can't remember the last time they had an event after. Definitely after. These people don't know what they're talking about. These people don't know what they're talking about. It's gonna be... Okay, now no one. No is winning. No, I think it's happening. it does not make sense to have the whole games industry in LA to test new games, and then Sony does an event a week after saying, "Oh, we got new games too," but you can't play them because no, they have to do it this week, first day. We're 50-50 now. That's crazy to me. When is Summer Game Fest? It's June 6th. Okay, let's do another topic. And then after that topic, we will likely have news about other stuff. About maybe that is when Sony will announce State of Play. Usually, though, they announce it a day before. Or the 2 days before, if it's State of Play. Hey, Markamon, good to see you. Have you taken a look at the Hell Is Us demo? No, I did get a request for that. But, I don't know. I've seen people being pretty excited about it. I got a lot of other stuff to do. But I will be keeping an eye out for sure. I hope it's good. Sarah's promised gameplay, Yote, maybe Wolverine, Resident Evil 9 user. That would be insane. How was the Crimson Desert demo you played? Any updates on the release date? Well, they are going to be at Summer Game Fest. I hope they announce a release date there. That would be exciting. But yeah, I liked what I played. I will likely do a react more in-depth impressions on this channel, and I will do on the main channel going in depth on some of the gameplay mechanics I learned, and then likely including the Summer Game Fest news that we hear. So that should be a fun video for sure. Okay, let's talk about some other things that we have. Papi doo 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 doo. We got some sad news. Black Panther has been cancelled. And before you are like, what? That game with Captain America and Black Panther? No, that one is still coming out. This is Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. This has been delayed to early 2026. It's the game from the Uncharted creator Amy Hennig. So that is still coming, even though we've still not seen gameplay. This is all in cutscenes, and I don't expect a lot of gameplay. But that's a different story. No, I'm talking about a game that EA was developing with the studio Cliffhanger Games that is also sadly no more. So this according to a report from IGN. The publisher has been shut down. Yeah, they're laying off some other staff as well. Like, EA is really going to focus on fewer things moving forward, and it's kind of sad, but we will talk about that in a moment. So Cliffhanger Games was formed in 2021 and was led by Kevin Stevens, potentially family of Luke Stevens. We don't know. Potentially. Who was a boss of Warner Monoliths during the development of Shadow of Mordor and middle of Shadow of War. So yeah, we of course kind of know the story there. And that's kind of the sad part about this. We now have the Black Panther game cancelled, studio closed, and Monolith Productions, of course, that worked on Wonder Woman, also no more. So all the developers who worked on Shadow of War, they are without a job and have not released anything since that brilliant game. Like Shadow of War, I loved it. So really, really sad. Let's go over a bit more what happened and also kind of the EA focus now and Marvel games in general. Because they announced this studio, as you can see here, in July 2023. Based in Seattle, of course, expensive. And that's what we've been kind of seeing, sadly, as well. That, yeah, it's getting just more and more expensive to have these huge single-player games in development for a really long time at these locations where you just have to pay way more for developers compared to places in Europe and especially places in Asia, of course. So, yeah, this was like 2 years, or yeah, 2 years ago. 2 years after their announcement, they already got closed down, which is really sad. But they have been already working on the Black Panther game for 4 years. And we got some, like, leaked concept art. And it looks insane. Can we, like, zoom in a bit? I just think a Black Panther... I don't think it was going to be open world. It was going to be, like, a single player, maybe with open zones. Kind of maybe God of War style. But like this world, you just want to explore it, right? We got a glimpse of it with the Marvel's Avengers expansion, and it was already really, really cool to be in that world. But having like a fully dedicated game around it, I think would have been amazing. So this was part of a survey, and yeah, obviously concept art. But yeah, it gives us an idea of what it could have looked like. So yeah, I think it's kind of sad that this is no more. Although we do also have from Jason Schreier on Bloomberg why EA cancelled the new Black Panther video game, and we got some extra like information regarding that. Basically, let's see. The plan, according to the people familiar with the game's development, was to feature various playable heroes from the comic book universe, such as T'Challa, Killmonger, and Shuri, all competing for the mantle of Black Panther, which would grant superhuman strength. The player would take control of one of these heroes, while the others would become rivals with whom the player could cultivate relationships. And this is also where the Nemesis system comes in. Like, that's of course the sad part about all of this as well. We love the Nemesis system. It's such a cool way to make a single player game more interesting, because in multiplayer games you have a lot of these moments that are created because you have a lot of players like doing things that maybe the developers did not think of, or yeah, create like very like interesting moments, while in single player games a lot of those things are already decided for you. You're just experiencing them more like a movie. But with the Nemesis system, there were moments where it was like, what the heck? I had a completely different experience than someone else playing the game, because I fought this orc and he was like, I killed him with like a burning weapon or whatever. He was on fire, and then next time I encountered him, he had like burning like scars and stuff like that. So there were a lot of like, and they of course remembered you, but that would be completely different from the way you would encounter maybe that same orc in a different way. Although I say same orc, obviously they were all like generated and stuff. So there was just a lot of like variety possible. So it's really sad that we don't see that system anymore. But it also seems that that is maybe what is kind of the issue with these games. It was an ambitious system, and early prototypes builds of the game were designed to demonstrate to developers and EA executive how it might function, said people familiar with the state of development. But after passing the latest EA gate in March, the team's next big milestone was a vertical slice, or a chunk of the game built to show the level of graphical fidelity that it could aim to hit. Only it was like hard to have that procedurally generated narrative like showcased to executives. The team had been moving slowly due to the ideation period, and also struggles of simultaneously building a studio. So the team had been moving slowly due to the ideation period, and also has been struggling with simultaneously building the game and the studio. And that is what we heard with Monolith Productions as well. A lot of people left after Shadow of War. They were working on a new IP that got cancelled, so then those people were like, we're out, we don't like Warner Bros. Anymore, we go to EA. So then they had to rebuild Monolith because a lot of the leadership has left, while also making a new game. And yeah, that was the same with Cliffhanger Games. They were also a new team working on a brand new AAA game while being a small studio. So basically, in the end, EA wasn't happy with the progress. Again, 4 years of development, and they were still in pre-production. Likely also because, that Nemesis system is very ambitious. So EA has now said what they will focus on next, and it's kind of depressing. Looking ahead over the next couple of years, we're focusing on what we believe will have the biggest impact: Battlefield, The Sims, Skate, and Apex Legends. So EA divided themselves into EA Sports and EA Entertainment. And yeah, the sports will of course continue as well. And EA Entertainment has the other games that are not sports. But yeah, basically all multiplayer games. And we will also continue to invest in blockbuster storytelling with Iron Man and the third installment of the Jedi series. Very excited for that. But yeah, they also have like Mass Effect, of course, still in development. But as you can see, they are really focused on these titles. And if those single player games are hitting some sort of issues or something like that, they're like, is this still going to be higher if you sell a lot of copies and then make sure those people play all the seasons, you sell them the battle passes, the skins, you can get way more out of each player versus someone buying Black Panther and then moving on. And you of course also have to pay Marvel a lot. And that was the shocking information that we had in the Insomniac leak. So here, Marvel royalties, several tiers depending on the number of sales. If sales are above 7 million units, Disney gets 26% of the net digital sales, including DLCs, 18% of the physical sales, and finally 50% of bundled games. So if you put Spider-Man on the bundle for a PlayStation, Marvel gets a lot of that, because that's of course a huge, like a big promotion for your console. But 26% of the net digital sales of every copy sold for Spider-Man. That's a lot of money that goes to Marvel for them obviously giving you feedback on what you should do with Spider-Man. But yeah, you're basically paying to be able to use those characters. And I do think EA at one point might be looking at, okay, we have this Cliffhanger Studios, this new team in Seattle. How many copies do we need to sell to break even on this if Disney takes a significant cut? Also, what we learned was that there's a licensing agreement with Marvel and Insomniac, at least according to that leak, where basically if any of the X-Men games, so after Spider-Man they're gonna do X-Men, and yeah, Wolverine seems to go into like an X-Men series. But if any of those games does not sell at least 6 million units between PS5 and PC in the first year, they can either terminate the agreement. Sony then has to pay 9 million to Marvel if they terminate it. That's no money. And Marvel, they don't have to pay anything. But Insomniac can then still sell the game. But yeah, that shows you like the amount that they want to sell before. If it sells less than 6 million, many games, if they sell 6 million, that's insane. That's really, really good. I mean, we hear Expedition 33, of course, like they're at 3.3 million. They're like very happy about that. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, super happy with the... I mean, they sold quite a lot as well, but I think they're still below the 6 million. So those games were pretty popular. And yeah, for those Marvel games to be a success, they have to sell 6 million. I think like with Marvel Blade from Xbox, I don't think that's going to sell 6 million. It's probably going to be a really good game. But that's what we see with Indiana Jones as well. I think that had like 4 million players or something. So yeah, that makes the economics of the situation, I think, very, very hard. So that is why I think that also plays a role. While of course with Mass Effect and all the games that EA wants to focus on, Battlefield, Skate, they own that. So they get all the money. They don't have to share it with anyone. Still though, EA has a deal with Marvel to release 3 games. And one of them is the Iron Man game from EA Motive. So that's the Dead Space team, the Star Wars Squadrons team. They are doing an Iron Man game that will likely see the light of day. And then they, after that, do 2 other Marvel games. So yeah, they're still going to continue. But like I said, I would not be surprised if the Iron Man game is not as successful as EA hopes. They will probably terminate the deal. Or maybe Marvel will terminate the deal. And then we will not see these games. Like, I really think that EA, sadly, is just not interested in making the single-player games. We saw that with Dragon Age as well. Obviously, there were many issues with that game. But it was not like a really bad game or anything. But yeah, that did not sell well. They laid off most of the team there. And now BioWare is just very small and only focused on Mass Effect. If Mass Effect is not as big as they want, it's the end of BioWare. Like, I really think that they will... I mean, Star Wars Jedi is the 3rd game. After that, I don't think they will continue with Star Wars single-player games. We will see, though. But, yeah, that's kind of the situation. Overall, I think it's sad that the Black Panther game got cancelled. But maybe that was too ambitious for a brand new studio to take on such a big project. But I think overall, the overall story that EA is investing less in single player games is, yeah, sad for the industry as a whole, because they did release some awesome single player games. But that's sadly the reality of things. Of course, let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe for more, and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye. What's the tease? Samaya, you're late. Yeah, for sure. But still appreciate you being here. You're never too late to look at this tease. Samaya, what do you think? Of course, Shinobi knows stuff. It's my birthday tomorrow, so that's obviously when they will announce the state of play. Happy birthday. I think it's a little too far-fetched to say that he is teasing a state of play. I'm curious if they already have it on the leaks and rumors Reddit. No. Okay. Ivan is asking, do you think it's time to see Blade at the Xbox Showcase on Sunday? I think it's time. You have to remember that they did Deathloop in 2021. So they've been working on it for a long time. I'm looking at other potential news that we might have missed at 6, but... But no, I'm not seeing anything in particular. Next to the Summer Game Fest Twitter account now tweeting about the 007 game. Marvel Fanatic in the chat. Hey Jordan, 2 questions. Do you think if Venom isn't announced this year, it's likely cancelled? And do you think Spider-Man 3 is cross-gen? Good questions. I think it's interesting. You would think with the Insomniac leak. Let's see if we can still find that stuff. Was that this one? I'm not sure if someone made this or if this was from the internal leak thing. Because we had a lot of these images, like this one as well. And... this one seems outdated. Because they have Spider-Man 3 still in 2027 and Wolverine 2025. Obviously that's not happening. So let's see if we find some more. Lol, we have this one too. Spider-Man 2 online. That's so interesting. But I see only Venom on that one list. Let's see if this is. Yeah, so this seems to be... Look, I think Spider-Man 3 in 2028 is way more likely than in 2027, obviously. So it would be 5 years. I think 2028 is when they launched the PlayStation 6. So having Spider-Man 3 as your launch game, that's of course huge. So I do think, and I think Wolverine is in 2026 likely as well. But a lot changed also since the leak, because the Brian Horton, the the game or creative director, I think he was creative director, on Wolverine left. So yeah, then people from Ratchet came in to be game director on Wolverine. So the other one was the most recent, really? This one? There are no dates on it, sadly. You guys are, of course, a bit behind, but I think this one was it, eh? Look, I think Miles Morales was a huge success for them. If they want to launch another Spider-Man game during the PS5 generation, it would be Venom. They have made Venom playable, so yeah, I think they might do it. I think they might do it. No, this white one with Venom. Okay, thanks. Are you? Is your birth? When is your birthday, Kangaroo? I'm not sure if you're still here. Wasn't there supposed to be another Batman game? Yeah. But they're early. That's Rocksteady, so they're very early. They of course just finished Suicide Squad. So look, I can see this being the real one, but of course, still things have moved. But I think it would be wild for Insomniac to be like boom, 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 new game, and then out of nowhere they're like waiting 4 years to launch something new. So, but yeah, Venom is interesting. They could, because the critique for Spider-Man 3 was that they didn't have enough content, and I was like, I also thought that was like kind of a thing. I think Spider-Man 2 was great. But I wish it was like a Ragnarok type epic with way more stuff to do. It really felt like the middle game. So if Spider-Man 3 is the final one, like there are some stories and things from Spider-Man 2 that I want to see maybe in another game. But also if they could beef up Spider-Man 3 by just basically putting this and all the things that they had planned for that in this game, that would be cool too. So I'm happy. I'm down for it either way. But what I think right now is that Venom is no more. It kind of went quiet. We only heard about it from the leak. Yeah. And of course, Spider-Man 2 DLC was planned too, and that also got cancelled. So maybe that is also something they moved towards another game. So Maya says, just finished a huge JRPG. As always with JRPGs, I feel like I just killed God. Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Which one did you finish, as Brock is asking. Spider-Man 2 not getting DLC will forever be the biggest L. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad for sure. Yeah, Spider-Man 1 story was better than it told as well. Yeah, I agree. So, I would not, like, blame them if they were like, okay, let's just put all the content that we wanted for Spider-Man in Spider-Man 3 instead of making separate games. And just make Spider-Man 3 the best it can be and finish on a high note. I do think that would be the smartest of them to do, for them to do. And they have an insane launch title for PS6. Would be kind of sick. Would be kind of sick. Oh, the Legends of Heroes one. I think we watched the trailer for that. But yeah, like I said, I think it will be cross-gen. I think if they, yeah, Spider-Man 3 will be on PS5 as well. Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah. For Spider-Man 2, it was too, like, they had to have a new game on the PS, or like an exclusive. Because Ragnarok and Horizon, I think, started as PS4 games. So yeah, it makes sense. At least Horizon started as a PS4 game, Forbidden West. So yeah. Have you gotten early access to Chrono Legacy? Or I got asked about that, but I don't have that. But I might ask it again. Maybe we should go after it. But it's of course more an RPG. We will be doing the podcast in 3.5 hours, so. That is exciting. Are we gonna have Goblin and Carnage in the same game? Yeah, Kenny, I think so. Hey, Annabelle, I'm new here. Well, thanks for joining and being a subscriber. Appreciate you. Yeah, if you're new here, we of course like to discuss the gaming news. I like to answer all your questions and we kind of discuss things together. And I also like to record some topics. We just did Black Panther and we did Summer Game Fest. So with the 007 game, so that's exciting. But there are some other news stories that we can go over as well that I think are interesting. I have 2 more planned. So let's do them too. Shinobi just teased State of Play for tomorrow. Yeah, we talked about that. Ophidi, I don't know how to pronounce that. Ophidiu? We talked about that, but the thing is with it, for people who are new, I see quite some people joining now. This is the rumor. Let's see if we can pull it up again. Maybe I just removed it. We can like quickly go back though. So we got Shinobi 602. I do think, if you look at all his posts, no, he doesn't post a lot. See? So it is interesting that he posts here to this random person. I mean, he can be just nice, saying happy birthday. It's my birthday tomorrow, so that obviously means that when they will announce the State of Play, happy birthday. But to be fair, I think it's a bit far-fetched, but looking at his like history, you're like he doesn't post. He's not like wishing everyone happy birthday. Evan is saying, did you hear about 007 getting announced this week? Yeah, we touched on that. It's exciting. I'm excited for it. Is Horizon 3 a 2029 game because of the online game? Yeah, Ivan, probably. State of Play confirmed by your. I wish. Hey, Ethan, good to see you as always. I'm doing well. How are you? Are you excited for Summer Game Fest? And we're going to have 3 big bosses. The game has to be 30 hours for the story. I think Carnage is more like a side story, right? Kind of like what it was in Spider-Man 2 as well. So. Okay, let's do another topic. We're gonna go over some Assassin's Creed stuff. And then we're gonna go over some other Ubisoft stuff. Did they just leak the Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag remake? It's a very interesting and kind of story. And we go over some other leaks that I don't believe. But that I still wanted to throw out there because I've seen some people talk about it. So here we go over here. The Assassin's Creed UK Twitter account. They did a meme. So here we see a meme. Unfortunately, you've lost your memory. Unfortunately, so then you can replay Disco Elysium. Assassin's Creed UK is like, okay, I lost my memory. I don't mind. And I can play Black Flag again for the first time. Which, of course, very exciting. Why? Like, they could have chosen any of the Assassin's Creed games. Now, maybe the UK account is biased. Or it's like a small tease. I think we should not read too much into this. But I also think it doesn't not mean that it's not happening. Because, if we go here. Severus. Something big is definitely happening regarding Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. The people at Pure Arts unveiled a new collection of figurines. But the Edward one is missing. And then we have this thing going on. Let's have a listen to this.
I did notice some people asking about why there's no Edward. There's reasons. I keep replying saying there's more coming. It's a line.
Like, yeah, I mean, how many you want us to release
stopping.
At the same time?
Would you like us to release like 14 at the same time? That would kill me.
Well...
Okay, so they have the all the statues here, as you can see. And they look awesome, by the way. But as you can see, they have all the famous ones. But Edward is missing. And sure, you could be like, okay, yeah, why would we release all them at the same time? Dude, you want to make money. You want to release the most. It's interesting that of all these, Edward is certainly, yeah, a big one that is missing. So now they go on to explain why, and then it gets interesting.
Assassin's Creed fans out there, you should be aware that there is something going on with Edward. So obviously we can't...
Has that been announced?
She's like, dude, what are you saying? He's like, that has not been announced.
I think so.
Okay.
And he's like, I think that it has been announced.
Pretty sure I saw rumors about it.
Okay.
I think it has been announced. I'm pretty sure I saw rumors about it. Then it's not announced. Rumors are not an announcement. But let's finish it.
No, I definitely saw an article about this.
Okay.
So I mean, if you're not a true Assassin's Creed fan, it's not my fault.
If you don't know what we're talking about, that's not our problem.
Yeah, that's not my problem at all. But yeah, so there's going to be something going on with Edward, and our PVC, our 1/8 scale animus statue will reflect that accordingly. Am I saying that well? I did notice.
I mean, that also might hint at some changes to the character that they're going to do in the remake. But yeah, they're basically saying there's a reason why we have all the famous assassins, but not Edward. And yeah, that of course is because of the remaster. Like, if you still think that it's not happening, then I don't know what to tell you. We also go to Tom Henderson over here, where, yeah, they talk about basically this video, and then he adds his own sources. While at face value, the host could have simply confused. He did not sound confused, and had his wires crossed when it came to the rumors and official information. I mean, yeah, I do think, yeah, it was kind of weird, right? He was not allowed to say it. Insider Gaming knows, though, that companies like Pure Arts are already working on merchandise. There you go. As reported by Insider Gaming, the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. Again, I still don't know if it's gonna be called remake. I think they might go for Oblivion remaster style, but we will see. It's codenamed Obsidian and has been rebuilt from the ground up with the new Anvil engine. So basically the enhancements that we saw in Shadows. The remake was originally slated to be released later this year, but Ubisoft's announcement to delay its major IPs has seemingly pushed back plans. At the time of writing, we've learned that Obsidian's internal beta phase is set to go ahead in September, which likely means that the game won't be ready for 2025 release or could have been pushed back into 2026. Ubisoft's beta to release can last 3 to 12 months depending on game polish. So that's kind of the new information here, that it's going into internal beta in September. Now, I would argue with a remake that you likely don't need the same like beta phase length as, say, a Shadows. That's a completely new game. Obviously, I'm not like a developer, so maybe that's not correct, but I would guess that that's the case. So then September, 3 months, would still be December at the earliest. But yeah, I do think that this might mean they have pushed it till early 2026 at the latest. Like, I do think Ubisoft wants this game out in their current financial year, so before April 2026. Why I say that is also because during the investor call recently, they said, and they've said it multiple times, that they want to come, starting with Mirage, every year, so every financial year, with a paid Assassin's Creed product. Of course, last year that was Shadows, year before Mirage. This year that's going to be the Black Flag remake, while they also want to do Jade, the free-to-play mobile game, and yeah, a PvP free-to-play game. So yeah, Black Flag has to launch, like it has to launch in this financial year. Obviously, though, it might be delayed, but I think it's good if they delay it because they want to give it more polish. Obviously, you want to do that game justice. But yeah, was seemingly planned for November. Now maybe pushed to early 2026. I will, of course, keep you posted here. We also have Bunny. And here I want to kind of chime in because I've been seeing people talk about this rumor. It has quite a lot of like views and likes and retweets. So this person says, 2 Assassin's Creed remakes are currently in development. Black Flag and the AC1 remake. Black Flag is expected to be announced this year or early next year. However, don't expect AC1 remake to be released before 2027. I got info from multiple sources. I think their uncle works at Ubisoft, something like that. But I want to say, this is guess. This is guesswork. Anyone can guess this. I also think that the second remake we know they're working on is AC1. I would be shocked if it's not. But again, this is just a guess. Oh, I say this because this person, if you even go to their Twitter account, the first like pinned tweet they have is this. New Assassin's Creed Red information. This was before it was called Shadows. It will be the most enjoyable game in the franchise. That is such a weird bullet point to start with. World premiere trailer in May. This was correct, but every Assassin's Creed game usually gets a world premiere trailer in May. Then they said gameplay showcase Ubisoft Forward in July 2024. No, that was not true. It was June, as we can see also here. And I like these plans are made well in advance. So I don't think Ubisoft had it in January, in July, and then moved it to June. So this was like a bad guess, and that the game comes out in November, you can guess that too. So here, guesses that did not work out. They also note Assassin's Creed Hexe will have a dark, haunting tone. It starts with Elsa seeking revenge for her mother, who was executed as a witch during the witch trials. We will see. I personally hope it's not a revenge story or anything, because we've seen a lot of those. But this also sounds like a guess. So I just wanted to say, this person doesn't have a good track record. Anyone can post a tweet. And yeah, this just gets a lot of traction, like this one as well. 106,000 views. Obviously, the X views are kind of like crazy, but still, like a lot of people pressed on an interaction button. So I just wanted to say, don't believe it. This person I don't think has any sources. They're just speculating. The Pure Arts guy though, this one, he knows, and he just, did not oblige to his NDA. Of course, questions, drop them in the comments. Subscribe for way more Reacts videos like this, and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye. Do. Do we have more info about Jade Muckerman? Sadly not. Yeah, it's an open secret, Muckerman, for sure. But still, I mean, if you work for a company who knows it for a fact, I just don't really like people that are like acting to be cool or something, that are like, oh, you should know as a big Assassin's Creed fan. Dude, it's not confirmed. It's a rumor. It's a rumor. You know, because you work for a company that signed an NDA with Ubisoft. But okay. Rumor, ACX will be... AC Wilco, you can be like a Twitch rumor person as well if you want. You can be a leaker too if you want. I think the origin story was pretty good. But not like amazing, maybe. I don't know. I think the Origins Odyssey story was pretty good too. Actually. Let's see if we have if in the meantime more news has dropped. I don't think so. Yeah, unfortunately, revenge story is bread and butter of every game now, sadly. Yeah. This story was alright. It had some big moments, and your choice, of course, had like a huge impact. I really like that. Let's quickly do another topic, the final one. 4 this week. 4. We got some Ubisoft updates, some interesting things about a cancelled project, Splinter Cell, and more. So let's quickly go over it here in this video. So Ubisoft was like, Splinter Cell, May 30th, and they posted an image. And this does show you like how popular this franchise still is and how like people want something new. 14k likes with just this kind of weird. This is like someone put this together in like a minute. Obviously not, but it feels like it. Then Tom Henderson, of course, who has his sources, has been reporting a lot of Ubisoft news. The remake looks genuinely impressive from what I've seen. I hope we hear about it sooner rather than later. So I did some extra digging. This was the first time we heard about the remake. That was in December 2021. So that's after Far Cry 6 got released. And it's the team from Far Cry 6 making this remake. Here we go to Tech Radar. They got some information that I highlighted, I think, as well. So they're rewriting and updating the story for a modern day audience. It will not be an open world game, but linear. That's good. That's good. And it will be built on the Snowdrop engine. So that's the one from Star Wars Outlaws, Avatar, Division, etc. So it's gonna look really, really good. Obviously, it's PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Then we also have some information from Insider Gaming here. They said sources have suggested that a release date could come in 2026, but they did not want to be held to that time frame. So this is from October 10th, 2024. Now, what we know for a fact is that it's not coming out before April 2026, because we already know, Ubisoft already talked about all the announced games that they have in that before that time window, and only the Prince of Persia remake was talked about and NO. So if they have other games, they're not announced yet, but Splinter Cell is after that point. Hopefully soon after, because it does seem that Ubisoft has quite some 2026 games actually coming with the new Far Cry, Assassin's Creed Hexe, and potentially Ghost Recon as well. So 3 big titles. And then Splinter Cell maybe 2. So you would hope that Splinter Cell is in a quieter window. I think this could be very big. I hope they have good, realistic expectations. Again, people want it. I do think the game will look very good. But, we saw that with Dead Space 2. That also got a lot of good hype, but the game did not meet the expectations that EA had for it. And, this remake is going to be very important. If people like for Blacklist don't show up, then, it's just another franchise where people keep asking Ubisoft about it, but then are not buying it. So we will have to wait and see. We also learned that a new Crew game has been greenlit at Ubisoft. So the Crew is secretly doing pretty well. This was from their most recent investor call, if we look at it here. Elsewhere in the back catalog, the Crew Motorfest posted a strong performance this quarter and pursued its increasing growing momentum with activity and engagement metrics up high double digit. So that's big. And they're still launching DLC for it, of course. And seems like they also now greenlit a 4th game. So of course we got 1, 2, Motorfest, and I think that's cool that next to Forza Horizon, even though it's now on PS5, people still like The Crew a lot. It's not a game for me, but I think it's good for Ivory Tower, the developers there, and for Ubisoft to have a maybe not like multi-million seller, or like it's selling multiple millions of copies, but it's not like enormous. But it's like making them a profit. It's doing well. I think that's good for them. Then we also heard about Ubisoft project Renaissance, a cancelled voxel game. So we have actually some concept art for this, because of course, next to the sort of things. Okay, we can look at it. Next to the the familiar franchises, they gotta like keep up with what the newer generation wants and what the popular games are. And yeah, that is more of this co-op. This will seemingly, I mean, look at this mountain here. I'm gonna remove my face for a bit, but it's very Fortnite-like, right? The blocks, or Fortnite, Minecraft, I mean. So yeah, this was a game they were working on, but that got cancelled, and we got another one over here. We got some actual info on it too. Player avatars might look like realistic, non-stylized human figures. The worlds could have been shared under different categories based on their environment type, such as cavern, caves, and mountains, as well as additional tags specifying gameplay modes like race to escape. So basically they wanted to have a user-generated game as well. Now, what is interesting is about this is that it was in development for 4 years at Ubisoft Montreal. And then the next time we would hear about the game would be in an Inside Gamer report from November last year, where a project with similar characteristics to Renaissance was said to have been cancelled. This cancellation is said to have paved the way for another project, codenamed Altera, which is reportedly inspired by Animal Crossing and also utilizes the voxel generation technology. So they're basically doing another. They're still using this. Returning to Renaissance, source close to development have shared insights on what the game might have been. We understand that it was envisioned as a platform featuring diverse user-generated experiences. These worlds would have been constructed from blocks of various materials, akin to Minecraft, including elements like metal, snow, lava. But yeah, seemingly they were like, okay, this is not gonna work out, but yeah, let's make an Animal Crossing style game instead. And like Animal Crossing, that game will not come to other platforms, so trying your hand on that might work. But again, what we've seen with Ubisoft trying new things, sadly, during this generation, they've all flopped. So I wish them best. Like, it would be healthy for Ubisoft as a company to have a big live service hit next to the things they made 10 years ago as well. Like Rainbow Six, of course, is still going strong, but yeah, what was the other live service hit they still have? They don't really have it. So yeah, will be interesting to follow. We'll of course keep you up to date on all the Ubisoft news. Don't expect them, like I've said in other videos and streams, in at Summer Game Fest. They seemingly only have Anno there and Rainbow Six Siege, but I'm sure that when they have new news at Gamescom, maybe they will have a trailer and stuff, and I will of course keep you posted. So subscribe for that. Let me know in the comments what you think of all this, and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye. So Maya, any updates on Fair Games? No. I'm going to end the stream here. We already went for quite some time. So thanks everyone for joining. Appreciate you. Of course, every Monday we're back. Next Monday is going to be an interesting one. Then we have a ton to go over. So that will be exciting. Let's see. So I think the Sunday video, I want to do it on Monday this time. I want to do that on Monday this time, because usually when I post on Sunday after the Xbox show, there's just way too much going on. So I think we will do the Sunday video on Monday. Of course, still the stream on Monday, and have a ton of other things to go over as well. So thanks for watching as always. Really appreciate you. I'll be doing the podcast with Luke in an hour or 2 hours and 20 minutes. So hope to see you there. That would be exciting. I will be going into the bathtub. I'm excited for that. Play some games maybe. And yeah. Thanks everyone for joining. We will be live reacting to the Summer Game Fest shows. So hope to see you there.